Thank you for coming to my channel. This is Rick's Garage, and today we're building the iXO Collection's Willy's Jeep. Pack 5, stages 21 to 25. I put a link in the descriptions and a QR code on screen that will take you right over to iXO Collections if you want to get this for yourself. Now I've got these chassis on the workstation again because in this pack I believe we're going to be adding more details. So without any further ado, let's get on to the next stage. Okay, in stage 21 we're going to be working on the rear suspension, and we have the rear axle rod right here, which is metal, and it has these screw hole attachments right here as well as a screw hole there. So we're going to place the rod underneath the leaf springs, matching this hole up with the hole of the leaf spring here. Bring this over. Then we're going to take our plates that we have, which are also metal, in this way around, and we're going to secure both in with an NM screw. And the NM screw is a long screw that's N as in Nancy, M. Try to get that on my screwdriver. Put a little bit of oil on that, and I'm going to first thread it through this, get that started, line up my axle rod, and get that screwed in. Okay, there's our axle now installed, looking like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, in stage 22, it looks like we're going to be doing the shocks again. So this should be quite simple since we've already done this once before. So let's get this going. Okay, we take the top of our shock and we place it over this hole here on our chassis with the large hole facing us, and we secure that in with a PM screw. We turn our chassis over this way around. We take our spring, we plop the spring in like that. We take this part of our shock with the tab going into the cylinder, and we position our shock to attach to the top of the leaf spring with an FM screw. Now I'm going to pre-thread my screw into my top part here, and the way this is going to go into the chassis is that this indent is going to face the leaf spring connection. So it's going to go on just like that. So let me get this in. Okay, that's in, and now we do the same thing on the other side. And that's how that should look when it's all completed. And there is it on that side, and we have a working suspension. Push down on it, you can see how that goes up and down. Perfect. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, when I was filming the portion of the video where I was installing these U-bolts, I didn't know that my mic was not turned on. So I didn't realize that until after the fact. But in this stage we do the U-bolts, and you just put the U-bolts in like we did before on the front of the chassis. So those U-bolts are on both sides, and they are plastic. You just push them through the holes on the top of these plates. And then what I did was to place a little bit of glue on top of those holes so that these U-bolts don't fall out, because they really are not in there really tight and firm. Okay, then the last thing that we need to do is that we need to take the axle covers, which are these round discs, and these are plastic, and they have a square hole here in the center, and putting it on this way around with the details facing the chassis, just slip it on just like that on both sides. I'm going to run this way, and that's what they look like on both sides. On the other side as well. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, in stage 24, we're going to be working on the rear differential and transmission. So let's get this open. Okay, before we continue, I want to be transparent with everybody. I made a mistake on my build. I put this bar in incorrectly. It should be in this position that you see it in now. So the chassis is facing up, so we're resting on top of the leaf springs. And when you put this bar in, this screw hole here needs to be in line with this brake area right here, with this part right here, because this shaft is going to go in like this, and it's going to connect to the differential right here. And mine was in backward. Mine was way over here on the side. So when you're putting this bar in, make sure that this screw hole is in line with this hole over here. It was fortunate for me that I was able to do this because I had glued these U-bars in. But fortunately the glue had not set. I was able to take those U-bars out without a problem, switch everything around, and now I'm able to proceed with the build. But I wanted to at least be transparent with you all because you may notice how this bar was put in, and then you're wondering, how did I get this differential in when I actually had it on the wrong side? So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our part that we need. This is the differential cover. It's what we're going to be using. With this screw hole in this position here, we're going to take this and move it underneath the bar like this. Line the two screw holes up right there and fix that in with 2 FM screws. Okay, next we take our rod, which is the smaller end on this side, is going to go in through that hole there, and this side over here is going to rest in this notch right here. So we're just going to plop that right in, like so. Goes in like that. Okay, next we take our cover, which is plastic, and then we have these little bolts right here that we need to cut off of a sprue. And we're going to place one of those bolts in this hole right here, looking just like that. Then on this cover here, just as we had over here, we have this screw hole. The screw hole here is going to go over this screw hole here. It's going to go in just like this. Then we're going to take our cover, just like we did over here. These two holes here are going to line up with these two screw holes here. Oop, other way around. And we're going to secure that in with 2 FM screws. Okay, now that's in. We're going to turn the chassis over. And then this top hole, we're going to put in one of these caps. Looks like a type of a screw with a hex head on it. And we're going to cut that off of our sprue. I'm going to take my pin vise, put just a dab of glue in that hole. And then I'm going to put this little cap right in there. Just like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. And then the last stage of this pack, 25, we work on our second wheel. So we'll get these parts out. Now before I get into the construction of the wheel, I want to bring back the chassis and point out something that I neglected to show you yesterday. When we installed these detail parts, when we installed this little bolt right here or cap, and then we also did another one here on the side, we do the same thing on the other differential in the front of the vehicle. So we do the same thing over here. Put the detail there, and we put the other bolt right here. And just wanted to point that out, that the instructions do call for that. I neglected to show both sides, but I wanted to show you that I did get those in. So let's bring our wheel over, get these parts out. And the last time when I constructed the wheel, I did not soak this in boiling hot water, and I did have a little bit of a problem trying to get the rims in. This time I'm going to boil this in hot water and see whether or not that makes this construction a little bit easier. So that's what I'm going to go off right now, go downstairs and get that done. Okay, we'll bring a towel over so we don't get water all over the place. Bring our boiling hot water over and place this in the water, and we'll let that soak for a couple of minutes. Okay, let's take our wheel out, and that is a lot more pliable. Put this aside, kind of dry this off a little bit. Take our first part that we need, which is this. Slip that right in there like so. And then we take our second part, which is this one here. We match up our lug holes with these lug holes there, like this. And then we secure those in with BM screws. Okay, we got one screw in, and this is a lot easier. So I do recommend that you soak the tire in boiling hot water for 2 minutes, and you should have a lot easier time getting this rim into the tire. So I'll go ahead and secure the rest of these screws in. Okay, next we take our brake drum, and with the wheel looking like this, we position this part with these 2 lug holes right here on top of those 2 screw holes right there, and we secure that in with 2 CM screws. Okay, next we're going to take our chassis and our wheel that we've made. We're going to attach it to the rear of the chassis, putting the wheel on in this direction, and it's going to go onto the hub just like that. Now what I like to do in some cases when you're putting it on the wheel is to put a little bit of grease on that wheel or where it's being attached so that it can move a little bit more freely. So I'm just going to put just a little bit of grease on here. You can also use oil, whatever it is, or whatever lubricant of your choice. Okay, and we're going to take our wheel again. We're going to put it right on like that. Then we're going to take our washer, turn the chassis over like this so you can put the washer in, and we're going to secure that in with an OM screw. An OM screw is a flange screw, and we're going to get this screwed right on in. I like to go in a little slow and then progressively tighten it up because you don't want to strip the threads. And we do the same thing on the other side. Now you want to screw these wheels in as tight as you can so that there isn't any wobble in the tire, so this doesn't wobble around. So when you roll it, the tire or the wheel rolls nice and straight, just like that. Okay, the last thing you want to do is put it on its side again. Take your hubcap and push to fit on both sides. Do the other side. The cap, put it on. And that's all there is to do in that stage, and all there is to that pack. I put a link in the descriptions and a QR code that will take you right over to iXO Collections if you would like to get this for yourself. I really hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, as this does help the channel. And if you haven't already subscribed, please remember to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, as that not only helps the channel, but will also notify you of new videos posted. Other than that, always have fun in your garage, your workshop, or wherever it is you build your models. Till next time, thanks for watching.